Hello my friends, it is a new Monday, it is a new week. Welcome to my weekly Flosstube. Today is the 16th of March 2026. I am Sen and this is my little place on YouTube for everything cross stitch and sometimes other crafts, although mainly cross stitch. So what have I been up to in the past week? I've mainly been working on a model stitch for my Patreon, which I will also show you. It's coming along nicely. Next month's pattern, I'm already working on a potential one for May, like in the design process for it, so nothing to see there yet. We'll get into that next week maybe, we will see. So as for stitching, I think I only worked on 5 projects last week, but we will see when I get through them in a bit. Yeah, 5 projects, but did manage a total of 4,710 stitches over all of them, which is good. I've done a bit of work on my Miles Manor games, and that is the overview. So I'm trying not to waffle too much in the beginning of the video and leave the waffling for the end. So let's go straight into the projects, shall we? So let us begin with the game stitching. So for my first playthrough of Miles Manor, I was still in this room up here, which holds the pattern, the manor, which I find a little bit hilarious sometimes. So I still had some stitches to do on that, and yeah, or more like I rolled on it, and I think I started the stitches that I had rolled last Sunday. So I did show you on Monday last week when I began, and I finished all the other 1,395 stitches that I was still owing it before moving on to the top room, like the ensuite bathroom that I wanted to go to. So let me show you where I am. I have moved the Q-snap, a little Q-snap. Why am I saying Q-snap? It's a hoop, probably because it's rectangular. I do not have Q-snaps. So this is where I am. I moved the hoop, so now you can see. I did tend to like work across because I was trying to finish the row, but then I was like, maybe I want to finish the page first, because if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I jump around a lot when it comes to how I work on my projects. Sometimes I want to do row finishes, sometimes I want to go down, sometimes I want to go by page, sometimes I want to do full cross country. So yeah, I think I'm looking at working the threads in as much as possible, and then maybe go back to doing the row, but I'm not sure yet. I think I stopped doing like the row by row method because I had to park so many threads here, because this is the roof of the house coming in, if you can already see, although the colors are very light, and so the tree line is just above this roof here, and then goes down here, and then over here will be just sky and then the roof. So all the colors that belong in the tree line and somewhere over here, and I have to park them all here, and then eventually move them back here into the house, because the house has like veins growing on it. But I also want to see a little bit more, and I am still annoyed that I picked the wrong gray up here, which is why it looks a bit weird, but I'm not picking it out. I don't want to pick it out. I think it's gonna be fine on the overall picture. And if it still annoys me when I'm done with everything else, I will pick them out and redo them. But for now, I'm not gonna bother. So still all over the trees. The chimney will be here, and then there will be the roof of the house, and then the house. So that is what this one looks like. I did roll for it again after doing the ensuite bathroom stitches, and I rolled the 300. So this will get 300 stitches this week. And for this round, for the like 1,890 stitches that I did on it, I did get another milestone. Let me check which one. Oh yeah, I reached 5% on it. So this is now sitting at 5 point something percent. I have 1 hit point left, which I'm very much likely gonna lose once I move back to this and do like 300 stitches. That's not gonna get me anywhere. And then I will have to move back down to my coffee dragon. So you will see this one again next Monday. But that is the manner proceeding to a little over 5%. Let's move on to the next one that I stitched on. Although before I forget it again, this is what it will look like finished. Yeah, I can see I'm up here. And the background and the tree and the back of the house here. So this is a pattern that I got from Etsy, from Max's Patterns. It is no longer available as far as I am aware. So she swapped out all her patterns, or most of them. So the ones of her that I have, I think it's 3 of them, none of them are available anymore, unfortunately. So after finishing all of the stitches for the manor, I said I did move upwards into the ensuite bathroom where my passion project is located, hiding up there. Finished the 600 stitches that I rolled on it. Did not get a milestone, so took a damage. I have 1 hit point left, which I will lose once I move back in here for the 300 stitches that I rolled on that. But currently I'm in the doorway, basically. Like, I moved back in here, but I haven't done the stitches for this one yet. So Passion got 600 stitches last week. Let me... I'm seeing a lot of back here, but that's fine. I don't mind. So, and I ate a bit more of my vegetables and worked a little more up here in the back. Let's see if I can fold it so I can see it a little bit closer. Let's fold this a little. So, a bit more in the background. Didn't even get to finish a row or a page because this is probably the page break, I think, about here or one further. And then there will be 1 more page of background and 1 page that only has 2 or 3 rows. So not even half page. And then there will be, as you can see, like here's the pretty much everything up here is gonna be background. I am like, it's this part. This is what it will look like overall when it's done. I finished like all of these. I will finish the top row of pages eventually. But I'm a little tired of just the plain purple background, and it's 3 colors in total, like in checkerboard style up here. I'm a little bit tired of it currently, so I think the next time I pick this one up, whenever that will be, hopefully not too long, but I will have to move back downstairs and then move back up, and I can't always work on the same pattern. That would defeat the purpose. I will probably move over here and work in a few of these loose threads here, I don't know, so just so I don't have to work only on the purple. Although it goes pretty fast, since it's, once I have put in the other color, like one of the colors, it's just filling with the second one. And then I have 3 different colors in this entire area here, so it was, as soon as I stitch 2 of them, the rest is just filling with the final shade. So that goes fairly fast, but I do want to see something else of this come along. So I'm probably gonna move back in and maybe finish this page here, and then go back to doing the row by row up here. But we'll see. I will probably decide that when I get back to this. So for now, I took off the hoop, and this will sit for a bit until I get back up to that floor and get back to working on it. So what I've thought about in future, like once I move back down here, stitch on the coffee dragon and then move back up. And also once I open more rooms, because for now I only have the 6 open that you can see. So once I'm back down after doing these stitches this week for the manor, I will work on Coffee Dragon, then move back up to Forest Lake. And then I will most likely do a wheel spin to see which one of these 3 I will move into next. Like these 3 rooms, just to make sure that I don't always go here to stitch on the manor just so I can get to Passion up here. Because that kind of defeats the purpose of the game, I think, if I always work on the same room, the same whip. So that's what I'm gonna do. So as for my second playthrough, sticking with game stitching, and I still haven't reprinted these because I want them on 3 different separate sheets so you can see more. I moved like in here a while ago. I'm still in the second room, like room number 5, where I rolled the autumn window. And I rolled so many stitches on this. I think a total of 2,700 and something. I can tell you in a minute when I find my notes there. 2,700. So this is a slow stitching project for me. Like it's 2/1 full cross on 14 count. It takes, like, it's slow going. I like it. I like working on it. I like how it looks, but it is slow going. This is where it is now. It is in the hoop, as you can see. Last time I worked in here, and this time, like last week, I moved the hoop and I decided to stick with the top of the frame and finish like doing the row by row thing. So I'm getting all of this ecru in. This is about half the width, like this is the middle. So it will probably go over until here. So I'm doing the wallpaper before moving into the window. Let me show you what it will look like finished. I need to get the back that has a little tag on it. This is what this one will look like. So as you can see, the top is wallpaper. It's a nice vintagey, flowery wallpaper. An autumn scene in the window. So this one got a total of, well, a measly 311 stitches in the past week. I didn't really work on it more than one day. I started to work on it another day, but then that only got 10 stitches. So that's not really worth chatting about. So I still need to do 1,350 stitches on this before I can move to the next room in that second game that I started, where all of my smaller, well, most of my smaller projects are in. Not the full coverages. I think 1 or 2 of these might be full coverage, but most are like smaller non-full coverage because I want to work on those too. And then I roll super high on this one and it takes ages to do. But we'll get there, we'll do it. And it can certainly use the progress. So we'll see how far I get with this one. I'm planning on working on it this week. Maybe manage to finish at least the wallpaper. We will see. And then see how many stitches I have left over. And then possibly like start doing the white of the gray of the windows here. Well, we'll see. We'll get there. Now, on Friday, I worked on one of my dragons. This is Storm. Let me show the picture. That is what he will look like when he is done. This is an image that I grabbed off Pinterest. This is an AI image. So you can very clearly see. So no copyright or anything. I just grabbed it, shouted it for myself because I like it. This reminds me of a very special dragon from one of my Dungeons and Dragons games that I played in. So I do that. So this is where I currently am with it. Previously I tended to move around a little bit. Now I got a few more colors I'm still missing 2 of the colors that I need for this, especially like up here in the first flower, which is a little inconvenient for me to try and finish the page. But I did do as much on the page as I can, trying to work in threads as best as I can so I don't have to park that much. There's still a thread on the needle. So this is something I want to like focus quite a bit this year if possible, because I really enjoy working on it. This is the first time that I tried working on this particular fabric. It is a 32 count easy grid, I believe Murano, let me check. Yes, 32 count easy grid Murano. And I'm doing it 1/110 stitch. I've done 1/110 stitch before, not on this particular fabric or size, I believe, but I wanted to try it. I'm sometimes still not sure about the coverage because I don't know if you can see, but there is a little bit of white shining through in the darker colors. I'd always see it because I'm stitching obviously with the desk light on, so it's quite visible. But I think if you look at it from far enough away, it should be fine. So yeah, this is where this one's at. Working on page 1. And this one got a total of 1,263 stitches on Friday. This one is quick. Well, unless I change colors all the time because I was working a little bit on the flowers, which are slightly confetti heavy, but I don't mind as long as it's gonna look nice. And I want to finish like maybe a page or 2 to see how it's gonna look overall. I'm usually quite confident with my own charting, as you could see with some of the other things, like even with the full coverages. I think it's decent. Might not be the best, but most of them are just for me, so if I don't mind, then it works perfectly fine. Again, like always with any of the AI image that I chart for my personal stitching, if anyone wants to stitch them with me, just shoot me an email. My email is down in the description. I am happy to share them with you for free because, like I said, there's no copyright on them and I'm not making money off of AI. So if you want them, just poke me in my emails and we can stitch them together. But that is Storm, and I have one more thing to show you, which is my Patreon model. So last but not least, we have the spring sampler. So this is in a hoop, so you're missing probably a little bit of the tulips up here. They should be more visible next time when I move the hoop. I'm currently stitching on the house, as you can see. First 3 rows are done. The cherry blossoms, the butterflies, I believe you already saw them last week. The tulips are now also done. There's a few little white flowers in here in between, and some on top that you currently can't see because they're hiding under the hoop. And then the house this time is also gonna be pastel. Like, I believe I have 712 to stitch like the body of the house. So I hopefully will be able to finish like the entirety of the house this week and maybe most of the row below it. We'll see. I'm trying to do 200 stitches on it daily, so I get it finished by the end of the month. But I obviously also have other obligations and I do want to stitch on other projects as well. But so far I am good on the time that I've planned in for this one. So it should be done, if I don't fall off of it with my daily stitching, it should be done by the end of the month. So we will have a proper model on Patreon in April when it becomes available. So that is the Cozy Spring Sampler, number 3 in the series after autumn and winter. So hopefully sometime this year you will also be seeing summer. I do have it on my plan for the monthly Patreon charts to do it probably somewhere around August maybe. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. For now, we do have this one. And it did get a total of 1,141 stitches overall this week. I'll get a sip of coffee. And hopefully there's gonna be a bit more this week, but it is sitting at over 50% done. I think it's almost 60. 59%. So it's coming along nicely. And we'll see where this one will be next week. But this is all the stitching that I did last week. So let's move back around to my face and then we can have a bit of a chat. So what I almost forgot, I do have a little bit of haul, and as I said, I'm gonna do a no spend for the year, but I did get some Amazon gift cards from Payback that I completely forgot that I still had. So is it really spending if you're buying stuff with gift cards? I don't think so, right? So I did get myself a kit, and this is the one I got. It's a magic needle kit, and there's 4 of these in total, and I eventually hope to get all 4 of them because I love these. But this one was my favorite of the 4. So this one was the first that I got. It's on 14 count. I'm probably gonna stitch it exactly as is with everything that's in the kit, because why not? I don't know yet when I'm gonna start it, but I'm planning to. And I love magic needle kits. I'm working on 2 of them, and I have 1 more that I got for my birthday. So I'll probably collecting more magic needle kits in the future because I absolutely adore them. The quality is impeccable. And they have such beautiful motifs that just speak to me. So that is what I got with my Amazon gift card. And then I did get a bit more fabric from eBay, where I tend to buy like de-stash, like fabric scraps and such. But this one, do I really count? Because these are mainly, I buy them for work. I don't use all of them for work stitching, like for my models, but I do tend to buy like smaller pieces of fabric from de-stash because I mainly make smaller patterns, if that makes any sense. So if I have to have a variety of fabric in my stash that I can just grab and design on. So what I got is this one. This is a larger piece. This is a 50 by 67 centimeters. Not sure what count. I never know which count, because the seller puts in like the German counts, like per centimeters. So I don't really know the. I think it's a 30. Might be a 32. This is a hardanger fabric, and I didn't even know that hardanger was fabric. I always thought it was just like a stitching method, but I digress. It's an even weave either way. It's lavender colored. I don't know how well the light's gonna show. Just plain coloring. I'm definitely gonna figure something out. This is the one I bought, and I always she always puts in some smaller scraps with that. So the ones that came with it were these ones, and these are just like tiny scraps. They are just this wide. This is the entire width. But I always kind of find something to put on them. And even if I just put like, do you say like ornaments or something, if I ever do them. But this is actually fairly large for still, like this one could even fit a small full coverage if I wanted to. So that's good. So that is my tiny haul. Other than that, not much in regards of life update. I'm still working on getting ready for the retreat next month. See how much I can get done, because I'm currently also super busy with paperwork. It's just a March thing, and there's so much paperwork to do for like my personal finances, my work finances, taxes, all those shenanigans. But I hope I can finish them by the end of the month, so I can fully focus on retreat preparations in April until we leave, but we'll see. But yeah, other than that, not much to say. It's gotten a bit colder again. Like now it's actually the weather that we usually have this time of year, and the temperatures, not the almost summer, but it's currently not raining, which is nice. So I was already outside with that grocery shopping and everything that we also do Mondays. So now I'm gonna go and edit this video so I can put it up for you, and then I'll dive straight into work. Because of that, I have more than enough. So until then, I will love you and leave you, and I hope I will see you again next week. If you want to, please do leave a like and subscribe. I would love to see you here again, and it would help very much to feed the algorithm and show my videos to more people. So until then, have a great stitchy week, my friends. Bye bye.